What's up? What's up? Give me just a second. Check, 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 check. Hold on a second. I'm working on, I'm going to add a little bit of background music to the stream. I haven't, I haven't done that before, but I figured that would make at least, some of the, oh, hold on. That's not what I wanted. Get rid of that. Check, check. Okay, yeah, I didn't delete the microphone. Give audio capture. Here we are. All right, we're gonna do music, and then let's see. OS capture, yes. All right, pausing that for a second. Yeah, application, music, cool. Let's see here. Why is it not? Oh, here we go. Alright, turning the music down so that it's not deafening here, and hopefully it's not too loud for you guys as well. But I figured that could be something that goes on in the background. So what is up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining the live stream. And I mean, there's going to be others that'll pop on here sometime later because I've got viewers that are in all different time zones. But I am really excited to be working on another session of building a video game. Last week, a lot of people really enjoyed watching the process unfold, and I asked if they were up for having it again, and they said yes. So I'm like, cool. Let's do it again. I'm setting up everything for the next for the transition and everything. But yeah. So what I was doing last week, transition so you can see my there we go. So this is the game engine I'm using. It's GDevelop, and this is a game that I'm working on that is a first-person shooter that's based on a story, a concept that I've been working on and kind of been developing really ever since the original Beat the Machine days. And oh, here we go. So I've been really excited to work on this, and it seems like things are coming together pretty well. I've been trying to get something like this together for a while, but it's been a matter of trying to find the right tools to accomplish what I want. And it looks like so far things are going well with this, so I'll keep going until I can't anymore, or it's done. But this is Ubermac, and I'm just kind of building things as I go. Actually, right now, I think I'm going to change. Let's see, I am going to change the. I'm going to change the textures that these blocks and everything have, because I would like... I don't know why that music was significantly quieter, but anyway. There we go. Because I would like something a little more neutral than the brown here. PS1 textures. I might go to 7 or 8, but let's see. Let's see what stone does for us. We'll do stone 11. And then go from there. Replace all that. Apply that. Cool. So we're going to do the same for the walls. Actually, let's see about a new file. Do we have brick that's like a little more... Ooh, this could work. Brick 9, that's what we're going to do. There we go. Wasn't behaving there. And it's gonna look really like dark and neutral to start off with, but that's the whole point. I'm gonna dress up the environment as I go, but this, because initially I wanted this environment to be something of a, like a subway or something like that, but then as I went on and thought about it, I had the idea of having the first level being a underground, kind of like a maintenance tunnel, and that's where a lot of these futuristic cities, electrical work will be done. So let's look at the... Up. Okay. So those bricks look okay, but I feel like they need to be smaller. So we'll do brick 10. It also seems like my edit didn't take. I'm having trouble with the enemies being able to see you through walls and start firing at you, even though the bullets won't reach you, and they should not be able to see you through things like walls and everything like that. So, trying to figure out how to remedy that. That has a better feel. That's strange. Why is it suddenly not seeing me? I can interact with it. That was weird. Because it's supposed to cast a ray against, against me. And then the distance has to be within 4,000 pixels. Environment. We'll do... environment stuff in the way has to be equal to 0. We'll keep that at greater than 1. Wait a second. No, it's gotta be... okay, if it's greater than 0. Distance where is... let's see. Instead of inverting the conditions, let's see. The number of environments is greater than 0. And then number of players picked is less than or equal to 0, then set the site of the grunt variable to false. And then if the player is within 4,000 pixels, the environment we picked, oh, okay, equal to 0, then, and it is greater than 0. Okay, maybe this will fix it. Okay. I think I'm onto something. Let's try that one more time just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. Ah, looks like it was a fluke. Let's close that. Let's move this way down here. Because I know order matters with these types of things. So, maybe the order... interesting. Strange. Because it doesn't react the same every time. Let's try to put this back where we had it. And see if that doesn't... yeah, let's see, that's strange. environment. Okay, there is crate. I want to make sure that I separate player's collision with bullet and... Oh, here we go, okay. Let's do just environment. Huh. It's strange, man. But, I don't know. I'll have to check out a forum to fix that because I'm a little bit at a loss. But while I am figuring that out, I think what I'll do is I'm gonna minimize this and I'm gonna work a little bit on an asset for the game. Let's open Blender. And I'm gonna switch the screen capture, application capture, Blender. Alright, make sure that's been transitioned. Cool. I'm liking mostly how this is looking. Let's see. I think I would take... Let's see. G, Y, and like give that a little bit more of the knuckle padding. And then I think for the gauntlets, I just think that needs to go away entirely, and I need to rebuild that from the ground up because I don't like how that goes into the arms. So delete faces, and we're gonna fill that. There we go. And then we're just going to create another object entirely. We will go with a cylinder. Rotate that 90 degrees. Pull this back a little bit. Scale it down. Scale this on the x-axis so it works. It feels a little more like a gauntlet. This in. No Sophie. I got one of my cats in here with me, and she is incredibly curious, but you can't blame her. This is all very new to her. Let's see here. We're gonna take these. No, girl. Whoops. This up, so... kind of allows for, like, it kind of follows the ridges of the wrist, you know what I mean? Alright, so... scale up. fitting a little better anyway. Because there's a lot that I want to put on this gauntlet here. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to have to keep it to that pretty much. Let's pull this back just enough to where it's out of the frame. And then, let's see. The material I want for this gauntlet is the shiny one. Shade it smooth. Seems well enough. No. So we got some flat lighting. That's nice. So let's see. I'm gonna render the image. Looks pretty all right. Yeah, move these. Move these. Yeah, that looks a little more natural. Seems like the fingers were out a little too far. Alright, so now, let's see about rendering the image. Yeah, that'll work. Alright. Render image. That's how we're going to stick to it. Save as. Shoot. Project. This one textures. We'll just put that there. Do pistol one. PNG. There we go. So we got that. Close that window. Now we're going to create a short couple frame animation for shooting. So we're gonna there's that, and then we're gonna move everything back just a hair. Render image. Slight muzzle flare for that. We're gonna tilt this ever so slightly upward. Render that image one more time. then I'll be able to make the walk-in animation and everything just fine. Alright, so with that in order, so next I'm gonna like migrate that over here. So I'm gonna switch what application I'm gonna be sharing. We'll go back to GDevelop 5. New object, we're gonna do sprite. Guns, plural. We'll have that. That'll be idle. Oh, wait. Before I do that, I'm gonna have to open up Affinity and put in a muzzle flash and everything. Duh. Alright, create that. We'll give it a transparent background. I'm gonna switch this over to Affinity 2. Alright. PS1 textures, pistol 2. Cool. And then I don't know if I have a muzzle flash or not. I'll pick one up real quick. Searching up a quick muzzle flare. Let's see. Flare. G. Let's see. Okay, I think I found one, so I'm gonna download that. It's gonna require me to wait about 9 seconds or so. Interesting. It's acting like I already have it. Probably do. Give me a second. I'm gonna try something else out. I'm gonna try this one. Hi, Sophie. She's a little restless. Alright, so we're gonna try to switch this, but then we're also gonna another couple tools or something like that. Filters, distort. I think there's a perspective tool. Here we go. Whoops. Alright, that actually looks like it'll work. Alright, let's just move this over just a little bit. Heck, I feel like that works pretty well. I'm gonna save this just to be on the safe side. Oh gosh, I love that. I love this song. This is I've got Vengeance Is Mine album playing in the background, and I really like. I love this collaboration I did with Delta S. It is such a fun time. PNG, because we need that transparent background. This will shoot. Cool. Alright, so now we're going to add this. Oh shoot, there we go. Open this back up. Export. I don't want it in thumbnails, dang it. Crystal shoot. Then now we're gonna add this. Delete. Scott did an excellent job on that guitar solo. Cool, yeah, that feels good. So, shoot. Add an animation. We're gonna do walk. And it's gonna be the idle frame. Nope. Hold on. It's going to be the idle frame. I'm going to duplicate a little bit. Edit with Pixel. Try to zoom out on this as best as we can, or if we can't, at the very least, let's That's what the walking animation probably will be. I'll make sure that that loops. Preview. Set it with pixel again. Okay, something's out of order here. Oh, yes, definitely. Okay, what is out of order here? That seems a lot smoother. Why is it jumbling the frames up? Like, I don't want my character looking like he has a stroke whenever he's walking. It's like friggin' jumbling the frames up. What the heck is up with this? What in the world? Okay. Better idea. Let's delete these selections. Get a... Just start from scratch. Maybe only 4 frames are needed. Cool. It's just gonna bob up and down. What the heck are you doing? Current sprite makes the recommendation for this one. You can ignore this one and continue working your sprite to be next one. Saving failure, slow nose, crashes. Okay. So now that we have that, this a little smaller. So it's not taking up the whole screen. Cool. And now we're gonna get into animations. Now, change this animation. Here we go. Animation by name, set to idle. So far, that's only command that I've got. Alright, let's see how this works. Oh, I kept that on the base layer. My bad. Cut. Paste. Okay, now that should show up on the UI. We're gonna save that. Still not showing. Behavior? I don't know. I don't think it shouldn't. That start a scene, set variable, select 1. And then when variable weapon select equals 1, change the pixel ammo, change animation of gun set to idle. Odd. And it's on the UI layer too, so strange. Got that as well, so let's see. Nope. Strange. Why are you not showing up? Because it is, in fact, animated sprite in 3D. Well, what's that look like? Let's just try this. Remove that, and then we're gonna, of course, shrink this down, but to scale, of course. And it's on the UI layer, so that should be fine. And we'll just create the animations as well. So idle. And then we're gonna also get our shoot animation. Cool, cool. apply. Whoops. Whoop. Come back, Sophie. All right, so we'll see about... See what things look like there. There we go. Okay, we don't have the walking animation going on. Or the shooting. But we do have... We do have a functional... We do have a pistol showing up now. Trigger once all true. Alright, let's... Oh, wait. I know what I need to do. Cut this. Let's see about that. Odd. Give me just a second. Alright, Sophie, you're obviously getting restless. Yeah. Come here, girl. Okay. As soon as I put one cat out, another wants to come in. I'm like, okay. Cast ray from the camera to a maximum of 4,000 against enemies. Copy. Maybe trigger once while true? Darn. Because we have... Man. Oh, that's why. I didn't name the animation properly. Cool. Huh, interesting. Well, let's cut this from there and paste it in this action. See if cool. Alrighty then. We're making progress. Whoops. Cancel. Oh, I have an idea. We'll delete these conditions and we'll add an event down here. If player movement speed greater than 0? Oh wait, no, that's with a force applied to it. Moving. Well, let's just see. Guns, animation. Pistol 8, what? Did I accidentally set... I guess I did accidentally set that animation name to Pistol 8. Still, let's just... Alright, we got shooting animations and everything. That's awesome. Cut this. Let's just see. Like, you can see the animations trying to play. I think I just need a separate event for, like, when things are actually moving. So, simulate movement. Because this is supposed to be... let's see, collision, health, configuration, movement using forces, but I'm not using forces. Oh, acceleration, greater than 0. Acceleration of the player is greater than 0, then animation by name Pistol 8. And then we'll say if the opposite is true, then we're going to set it to idle. Save. Okay, well, let's we'll say less than or equal to 0. And we will not invert that. Oh, current, no? Maybe. Current forward. Maybe that'll work. And then was it current forward speed is less than or equal to 0. It's trying. Let's see, let's trigger once while true. Because maybe it's... We're getting there. Like, every time the character moves, we're getting an attempt at it playing the animation. But let's see. Okay, I need to change the name of this animation to walk. And then, okay, it does automatically change that. Because it's like, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what else would make it to where, what would try to keep the animation from playing. Just wondering. So it wasn't that, but it's like sometimes just adding a sub event in something, you know, can solve the problem. But that, trying to think. What would... I'm a little confused. But I guess while I'm trying to figure that out, I'll think of working on something else. Let's see here. Oh, let's try something else out. Let's do a 3D sprite, and I want to... Because if this can work, I would rather try something like this out. Because I can actually apply animations to a 3D sprite. So let's try this bad boy out. No, I don't see it. Because if I could do a 3D sprite that's standing on ends... Then I could get it to play animations. Which I can't do because I'm currently with Grunt 1. Like, it's just being a shoot, what is it? It's just a box that has the front face facing the camera at all times, and that has its limitations with what I can do. So I was trying to see if I could get around this. Okay. It's strange how that thing works out. But anyway, we will... I thought I heard something. Let's look at this one more time. So idle, shoot, walk, okay. Maybe if I put the idle animation as looping... Oh, wait, I still have these animations that might try to play and cancel out the... Okay, let's see. maybe if I take off the trigger once thing. Woo. Uh. If we also do sideways speed as well. Paste, and then current sideways speed as well. Then we'll just take it to idle. It's weird, man. I'm like trying to figure out how I can have a condition that activates the walking animation continuously. Maybe, shoot. Maybe I do need to get rid of these conditions and just connect the animation to the button press. That might need to be what it is, but we'll just see. I might regret this, but trigger once while true. Let's try this out. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Yeah, no. Was exactly what I was afraid of, but anyway. Because shoot. Well, let's turn the idle animation off as well. We'll turn the idle animation off in terms of a loop, but we need the walking animation to be a loop. See, I also was thinking about trying to do a health bar instead of a percentage when it comes to initial value. We won't show label. behaviors. I think I'll worry about that later. Because, what is it? Red flat bar. See if I can make that. Animation on the shooting seems to be going super quick in spite of the fact that I'm trying to make it play all the way through. Points. That's not really going to do anything for me. Collision mass, no. Apply. Oh, we'll figure something out. I'm trying to think of something else that I can work on. I could probably model the shotgun and go from there. Yeah, I mean, I've got 40 minutes left, so let's move on over to Blender. Alright, so I'm going to start with a cylinder for the barrel. Extend this along the y-axis, shrink it. And then we're going to bring another mesh into this. We'll do another cylinder because this... Let's see. Take this. Oop. I just realized there was no music playing. Let's see. We'll go with the pre-stream. There we go. So then I'm going to take this face and extend it out about here. Extend it again, because I'm going to need to make some cuts around there, and then... Let's see. I'm going to make sure I have a... make sure I have a reference here. So actually, I need to get rid of that. So all right, so on the my goodness, man. Let's see. Actually, now that I'm looking at a reference for a lever action shotgun. actually is I'm gonna need a cube. Get it down here pretty small. Bring that back here. We're gonna subdivide this cube. For a low poly setup, it looks like we're already getting in the right direction here. So I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit, and then this already feels like it needs to have a square, or no. What it needs is more of that. I'm gonna take this whole section right here, and bring it up just a little bit. Cool. Looking like a shotgun. I'm gonna subdivide that. Up just a little bit because that'll be the place where you aim. Subdivide. see, maybe actually it should have just been... I'm just kind of figuring this out as I go along, but I'm thinking if, well, shoot. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. To undo my mistake. Well, here's a better idea. I made it. Hey, Corey, how you doing, man? I am working on a model for a shotgun. Just trying to iron out some bugs with the game. How you doing, man? Always good to have you here. Just got done making dinner and I get the pleasure of cleaning the dishes. How's the shotgun coming? It is coming along. Kind of making this up as I go because, you know, that's just kind of how I roll. But I'm liking... what I'm coming up with so far. If you give me just a second, then I'll give like an overview of what it's supposed to look like. I'll dissolve some faces here so it doesn't look so friggin' busy. Okay, get back to right side up here. Alright, so this is what the shotgun's looking like so far. I need to make the sides and the handle here a little narrower because no normal sized human being is gonna have hands that size. And let's see, we'll move it a little. Okay, that's a little more reasonable. Then we'll take the sides here. You can see like the handle's a little more round. Sure would be easier if you had $1 billion worth of employees giving you ideas. Dude, that's looking awesome. I'm loving the back of it. Thank you. So, I guess a little more exposition and lore is in order as I come to explain my design ethos behind this, and that is I'm wanting to look unconventional and a little more extreme, and of course that's gonna be a developing type of design. But in universe, there are 4 corporations involved that contribute to the large scale of the, Ubermech problem that everybody else is facing. All of them have to do with weapons and robotics to one extent or another. And the corporations in question are Onyx, Cerberus, Guardian, and Caliber. And each of them kind of have their own strengths and weaknesses and specialties and so forth. Um, so with Onyx is like the most the top performing corporation, and that's because they jumped on the contract with producing at least the vast majority of the robots for the Ubermech military and the weapons connected to them. Yeah, Caliber managed to secure at least some support work with like the Ubermech that are working on more of like the civil servant side of the Ubermech initiative, but it's not it isn't what it could be, and so Caliber kind of suffers as a result. I just realized this is uneven. So, but like Onyx is the top weapons and robotics manufacturer in universe. They also, like, their specialty when it comes to the weapons that they developed is that they are very accurate and they have cutting edge technology that allows for them to, like, you know, have some features that allow for the shooting experience to either make it like be more accurate or just flashier all around. It's like a gimmick and it's a benefit. So that's with Onyx. And then Cerberus is really more like the they're like the third most prevalent within the major business landscape, and that's mostly because, you know, it was kind of an arms race to get to who was going to get the contracts for producing for the Ubermech military. Like, if you were weapons and robotics, that was like the way to go. And if you don't have that, then you're pretty much just left behind. Caliber was in direct competition with Onyx, but Caliber, like I said, was kind of fell behind, and they just kind of have whatever's left. Cerberus is like the third highest player, and really they're kind of going under because they stuck to the consumer arms game thinking that they had a pretty secure future with that, and turns out they don't. And a large part of that is because what was it? Because there's no United States, there's no like, all nations are brought into one fold now. Then there's no Second Amendment, there's no right to bear arms or anything like that. So people just don't have that to lean on, and so businesses can't profit from that, especially as those sort of rights are dwindling away. And so Cerberus is slowly going under, but they try their best to stay afloat. They're very gimmicky. Their strength is that they are, like, they make the biggest boom. If it doesn't destroy everything, then it's not good enough. With Caliber, because whatever little they did end up getting with the military, with the Ubermech military and everything like that, what they were able to get was producing weapons for vehicles. And so, because of that, Caliber makes very high capacity guns, things like turrets and any other like portable firearms that they have is more like they have higher magazines. And then Guardian used to be the leader in arms manufacturing, and they used to be the one that had the contract for the military whenever there was a United States and when things were how they were as we kind of more know it these days. But when they failed to jump on the contract and to keep up with the times, thinking that their long history was going to keep them afloat, they're the only ones that are going down faster than Cerberus. But and because they are kind of not with the times and everything, the blessing and the curse of using Guardian weapons is that they are very middle of the road. They're not terrible, but they don't do any one thing the best. And then and that makes them reliable, but that doesn't make them special. You know what I mean? And so those are your 4 major arms manufacturers in universe, and they're all, like I said, they're all going to have their strengths and their weaknesses based on where they sit in universe. So how long is this idea taking you? It sounds like a lot of prep. I have been thinking about this since the Beat the Machine days, whenever I was working on the original Beat the Machine album in 2000, well, really it was 2020, but everybody got to see what I was working on in 2021, so... But I've been developing the idea for quite a while, and I've been taking inspiration from a bunch of different sources. The idea of having multiple manufacturers to bring about options when it comes to the weapons that are being used and who does what well. Actually was an idea that came from Borderlands. My wife and I play that and have played that quite consistently. And Borderlands has over a dozen weapons manufacturers with their strengths and weaknesses. And so I'm taking a page out of that book. And it's one of those things where with all the weapon combinations in game, in that game you're able to actually come up with a strategy or find a preference based on what you think would work best for you. As far as I'm concerned, especially with having to make a simple game, I personally am needing to make sure that I don't overcomplicate things. And so, at least for the foreseeable future, in an Ubermet game, what weapons you end up having are going to be available based on the preferences of the character that you play. Kind of like in Doom, you don't quite get to choose the weapons that you get. You just have a set roster that you get to work with. That'll be what it'll be like for the Ubermet games, but depending on the character that you play will determine what weapons make up that arsenal. Go ahead and save that. What an awesome game. Show sucked, game rocked. Yeah, we were not fans of the Borderlands movie. We were planning on seeing that in theaters And then we started hearing some really bad stuff about the movie, and so we were like, let's see. And then the movie ended up getting put up for free on YouTube, and I guarantee you nobody's gonna try to like gatekeep the copyright on that. But we watched the movie for free on YouTube to really finalize our opinion, and we were like, yeah, that was terrible. It's like they put all the thought into the details that didn't matter, and everything else was like, and they tried so hard to say things like, oh, it's a story that in like a parallel universe that could stand on its own. No, it couldn't. They've got to feel some sort of shame. Oh yeah, well, especially when you have the Randy Pitchford and Gearbox that was trying so hard to tell people, is no, this really is an awesome movie. This is really what you want. And it's like, dude, I don't know how involved you were on this, but you can't look at this and say that this was what your game was coming to. Yeah, we were not fans of how everything. We weren't fans of how all that worked out. And then, like I said, to add insult to injury, how much did he get paid? Probably a good amount. That being said, I mean, he already got paid the licensing fees because Gearbox owns the Borderlands IP. So if a movie's going to be made about their game, then the studios have to pay licensing fees in order for those things, in order for them to get the rights to be able to make a movie like that in the first place. So if I had to guess, hint of motivation as to why Randy and the likes at Gearbox were really wanting to try to sway people's opinions on the movie. It had to be because the Borderlands 4 announcement wasn't going to be too far off, and he, if at all possible, he didn't want a bitter taste in people's mouths when it came to the name Borderlands by the time that announcement was made. But all of us are kind of wary anyway, because I mean, Gearbox has really been dropping the ball lately when it came to Borderlands games. We were not impressed with Borderlands 3. We were not impressed with Wonderlands, and we had high hopes for that one. Like Wonderlands, because it was supposed to be like, they developed the game because people really liked the Assault on Dragon Keep DLC for Borderlands 2. And so they, to their credit with that, they listened to their fans. And they were like, hey, we'll make a game based on that. And they did, but it had, aside from the fact that it was, it felt like it wasn't consequential to the overall Borderlands plot. But then furthermore, the content and everything, I hate to be somebody who is like, acting like a woke spotter or something like that, but the content of the Borderlands or the Wonderlands game was, it was obviously very progressive, and I don't know. And I don't know if Gearbox actually believes that all this liberal and progressive agenda stuff is, whether it's true or not, or if during 2020, lots of entertainment outlets were hurting for cash because inflation and things were hurting so bad. And it is a known fact that would approach these entertainment studios and say things like, "Hey, if if you're hurting, we'll give you the money to keep your studio open and everything like that. But you have to put this in your game, you have to put this in your game, and you have to defend it whenever it hits the shelves and people complain about it." I don't know if what's the case here. All I know is, just like with a lot of other games that were being made within the COVID era, Borderlands 3 and Wonderlands were really, really, they were full of that like nasty progressive stuff. Wonderlands especially, like, we were pretty, like, we felt uncomfortable doing some of the side quests because they like involved you actually helping, like, trying to set a lesbian couple up and everything like that. Some of the main quests even had characters that were same sex and were flirting with each other, and some people would argue it's like, well, it's just side quests and everything, but in a action adventure RPG like this, you have to do side quests in order to level up so that you can progress through the game as needed. So it's not like side quests are that much of an option. A movie from game makers need to start doing what Sonic did and listen to the fans. How do you think the Sonic movies have done so well? And yes, Wonderlands was not as good as I hoped. Feel that. We've absolutely loved the Sonic movies. It is awesome to see. And I've not seen Sonic 3, but I've seen 1 and 2. And everything about those movies is great. I mean, it's family friendly. I think Ben Schwartz does a great job capturing the personality of Sonic. I love... I'm kind of blanking on the names. I know they're actors' names, but it's the Wachowskis. You got that are played by James Marsden and Tika Sumpter. I think they're awesome. They're an incredible, and not just because they're fun characters that are good supporting cast members, but they are a power couple when it comes to, like, I just love the fact that they are a very supportive married couple. You don't see a lot of those in media at all. A lot of times marriage is painted as a drag, and that it's better, like, if there are married people in movies and shows, they don't like each other, they're not faithful to each other or whatever like that. And they could have easily also just made the two just, boyfriend and girlfriend living together or something like that, but they did make them married, and they make them a couple that they love each other and they're very supportive of each other and they work as a team, and I greatly appreciate that. And honestly, Knuckles has been my favorite character in the Sonic franchise, like, forever. And I love the fact that they didn't make him stupid like some of the games have done. Like, he's the last of an indigenous people, and that makes him very much a fish out of water because he's very much a stranger in a foreign land here. And then Idris Elba just absolutely nailed that character. I think is all around, it was just great. And then Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. Like, he was born in a lab to play that character. So, for there to be a third one and it's grossing even better than all the other ones were, we will see it sometime soon, and I have no doubt that we'll enjoy it. Well, yeah, listen to your audience. That is the key to actually making something that people care about. Also, I'm a huge woke spotter. Like I mean, obviously, it's obvious where I stand. I try not to like. I have my standards. I have where I stand and stuff like that. And obviously, where I'm at is conservative as a man who lives his life by the Bible and everything. I just try to be careful whenever I'm doing my media and everything. Trying to get in all tangled up in the culture war is it's a good way to get attention, but it can quickly distract from what you actually do as somebody who's creative. Like it can become something where like that's all you're known for is, dunk on the libs. And if somebody wants to be that, cool. I want to be known as the guy who makes good media that it's more than just trying to bring a message to somebody. I mean, in music, it can be that way, but like with Ubermac, it's not going to be even though it's biblically inspired, it's not going to be something that's in your face because what will make it better, especially if you're telling a story or you're trying to make a game or something like that, you'll have a better reaction and you'll have your message come across better to people who actually discover what it is when you focus on the reason why somebody comes to the medium. And this is something maybe I'll actually make a pre-recorded video on or whatever. But when it comes to multimedia, there are certain reasons that people come to that entertainment medium, and if you disrupt that, you're not going to be received well. Like I said, there's leeway that you can have as a musician, because as long as you deliver an ear-pleasing experience, people will, for the most part, just kind of level with you. However, when it comes to, like, say, movies, for example, at the end of the day, movies are stories, and people come to a movie to see a story play out before their eyes. And if all you end up doing is basically make the story a vehicle to preach to the people that come to see your movie, they're not going to receive it well, and you'll kind of undermine your cause. And it's true for anybody. There's a reason why woke movies don't work, because they are super preachy and they put the cart before the horse, and all they thought about in the movie was the message that they wanted, and they didn't think twice about making characters that people care about, putting them in struggles that are actually relatable to the people that are watching the movie. They didn't think about character arc. They didn't think about, and they didn't think about how to do all that well and then ingrain their values and their message into the story, that as people enjoy what they're watching and then they start to think about it on a deeper level, then they start to, connect the dots, and then the message has more of an impact that way. I would say a lot of the reason why a lot of Christian movies suck, and I do mean a lot of Christian movies suck, because they do the same exact thing. They put the message ahead of good storytelling, And because they put the cart before the horse, they don't make the only reason why Christian movies fare well at the box office is because there is a large evangelical population in the US. At its peak, the LGBT community is maybe 6% of the US. Yeah, at its peak. I don't even think that's what it's at currently. But it's like, it's been anywhere from 2 to 6%, never been higher. And so if you're only appealing to that niche, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get very far. At the worst right now, I think evangelical population in the US is like 62%. Significantly higher percentage. But it doesn't change the fact that it changes the fact, but it's like the whole idea is that if somebody's gonna take you seriously as a artist, then actually make good art and then ingrain your values into the art. Same goes for video games. Like, the reason why people come to a video game is to have fun playing it. And on a fundamental level, like, really, it's not even story. Was it John Carmack, who was the head of development at id Software? He was approached by one of the developers with a big, like a really, really, really thick document for what the lore of Doom could, or what he thought the lore of Doom should be like. It was called the Doom Bible, and it was going to be this like big, intricate lore, and Carmack shot it down in favor of simplistic, minimal storytelling. And he said to him, because he said, story in video games is like story in an adult film. It's expected to be there, but it doesn't have to be. And he's right, because at the end of the day, if you have a good gameplay loop, if you have clear rules that constitute winning and losing, a goal to reach, and it's fun, that's all you need. And you can have story, and that can be ways that you can differentiate your game from the others and justify the goal that you're working towards. But at the end of the day, you have to have fun playing the game. And a lot of studios made these super preachy games and wonder why people don't like them and don't play them. Well, there's a good reason for that. Totally agree. I love your stance on that. I don't think that you should be going hard against one side. By the way, pun intended, the shotgun is getting me way pumped to see the final product. Funny you should say that, because this is actually going to be a lever action shotgun. And I'm doing that because, for the very reasons, is you don't see a lot of lever action shotguns in games, and so just to be something different, I'm putting it in like that. It kind of, it's kind of like whenever, what is it? 3D Realms, they did, is Duke Nukem, that because they wanted a different shotgun from everybody else's, because everybody had a pump action, they did a pistol grip. And I was like, okay. So let's see here. Move this back. Have you played any of the Fear games? I cannot say that I have. I think I'm aware of them, but I can't say that I actually have. Oop, rotating it the wrong way. Aside from the horror aspect, this has that feel so far from the way that you told your story. Okay. So let's see. Let's move these back just a little bit. GY. Okay. But going in with going back to the thing about like weapon preferences and stuff like that. Something so like the character you're gonna be playing as, at least in the first Ubermat game, we'll see if that's something. We'll see if this remains a consistency. I hope it does. But you're going to be playing as a character named Infernos. He is by far the toughest dude in the Metanoia. And he also is... So this guy, he's essentially going to be... The plans I have for this guy is he's going to be both my Vic Rattlehead and my Doomslayer, so to say. Because he'll not only be a character set for being like the bad, the one-man wrecking crew that takes down all the bad guys and everything, but he'll serve as a mascot also, kind of, being on album covers and so forth. And his preferences, I mean, he'll, for the most part, use whatever suits him at the time. However, on principle, because Onyx is probably the worst out of all the corporations in question, he will not use Onyx weapons on principle. So if he needs, like, an automatic weapon, and, Onyx, makes a really good automatic weapons, but he'll sooner tear out a caliber turret and use that before he uses an assault rifle from Onyx. But there's a character named Chris Singer who, he used to work for Onyx in a manufacturing facility, and he knows that Onyx has some of the best weapons on the market, so he'll almost use those exclusively. And that's just one example of how preferences of the characters will determine the roster. Okay, I think I got the lever pretty good. Let's move. Let's move this section over just a little bit. Okay, yeah, that feels much more even. So do we get to pick our own character? So the idea is, like I said, for something like this, I have to keep it simple. And so what I will probably do is make it to where there will be either episodes or different spin-offs or sequels, however it would best work out. But I think for different installments in the games, you'll be playing them from different characters' perspectives. So Infernos will probably be the character you play for the mainline games, but if there's like other episodes or if there's spin-offs, then you'll get to play it from another perspective. Kind of like Gears of War, where in the mainline games you're playing as Marcus Phoenix, but then there was Gears of War Judgment, where you're playing from Baird's perspective. All right, I think I got a pretty good start on the shotgun. I'm just going to have to save that here. Well, yeah, I want to save. Duh. Close that out as well. I can't stand Judgment. And I can understand if that wasn't what you were up for. I'm like, that's just a good example of what I was putting out. All right. So since you just came on like not too long ago, Corey, I'll show you what the progress I have of this is. So I changed some of the environment here. I do have it to where the grunt here will fire bullets at you. I'm still having some trouble where the grunt can still basically like see you, won't make it to you. I did get it to where I've got a pistol here, and it will have animations play, sort of. I'm still working on ironing the bugs out of that. But let me just show you how things are working here. So here we go. There's the grunt shooting. Like I said, he shouldn't be able to see me right now. But there he is. And I gotta watch out because those bullets will do a number on me. Oh, yep, you got me. Soon I'm gonna actually make it to where I have a heads-up display that shows you whenever you get hit. And I'm thinking, at the very least, for feedback, for whenever you actually hit the bad guys, that they'll like at very least blink white or something. Oh, and I've also got some collision where whoops, well, I'm trying to anyway. And I've got some collision to where you can like interact with the environment, folks here. I'm trying to make it, one of the things I'm having trouble with the animations is like I have a walking animation that's supposed to have the gun bob up and down. And it's getting stuck on the first frame for some reason. I'm having to figure that bug out. Honestly, it's also cutting the shooting animation short, but because of how fast a gunshot is, it really doesn't impede on that. It doesn't look bad or unnatural. So there's that. Yeah, I'm still trying to iron out some bugs. That's awesome so far. Thank you. But that is what I've got so far. And probably the next steps that I'm going to take outside of ironing out the bugs is I'm going to try to figure out a UI. So have a more stylized crosshair and have, like, instead of just having the text right here, I would like to have some things that frame the text. So it's a little more, it feels a little more personalized. And something that I thought about doing is, you know how like games make it to where cosmetics are collectible if you like explore and figure out some, find some secrets and pickups. One of the things I'm thinking of doing is make it to where you can find some collectible UIs. So there could be some different styles. One could look like it, like I was thinking, like the Y2K futurism type of thing where everything was chrome. There could be a UI that's styled like that, but then there could be another one that's styled similar to like the Halo UI. Another that's similar to, Quake or Time Splitters. Like I said, that are inspired by that. But if somebody wants to have a different user interface, like that could be something that that people could collect and then also be able to personalize the game experience. I love that in games. You should put a collectible Firebrain Easter egg in there. I'm working on that actually. I'm trying to think of what would work really well because just like I like what like the modern Doom games, especially Doom Eternal, did, where you can actually make it almost makes the music like it makes the music a collectible, and that would be kind of cool. Now personally, I'm going to write a soundtrack separate from the album that is supposed to come out at the same time as this, just because I'm going to write music. I just love doing it. I don't know if I'd make it to where the soundtrack is unlockable once you, for a download once you've collected like, I don't know, 20 cassettes across the entire map or something like that. I do know that something that I really enjoyed about those games as well is that the lore is collectible as well. So aside from telling you only what you need to know based on like just because so you can kind of understand what's going on in front of you, if you care about what the backstory is and how did we get to this point, then you can find the items like in Doom Eternal, the codex, and you can read the backstory and learn for yourself. If you don't care, it's not going to interrupt your gameplay. And I like how they did that. And for me, I think that's a smart approach to take for a simplistic gameplay approach that I'm wanting to do. Because, like I said, I don't want to make a ton of work for myself, overwhelm myself, and then make this thing so big that I can probably not finish it. But I do have a big story with this. And so something simple and straightforward, is what I need to stick to. But I think that approach works really well. And I'm trying to think of other like unlockables that would be of value to people in and outside of the game. You know what I mean? Like how it is with like, yeah, customizable UIs are an in-game thing, but they get outside of game value because people get to personalize the game experience a little bit, even if it's just cosmetic. And, maybe making the soundtrack unlockable if you were meticulous in finding the collectibles in there can also be something like that. Still finalizing some of that, but I think things like that make a game a lot of fun. It is 8:18 right now. Made a good amount of progress as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, make sure I save my progress. Thank you to everybody who jumped on here. And thank you, Corey, for joining me in the chat and everything like that. It was a lot of fun, and I'm having fun learning this. Kevin, what's up? Looks like I'm catching you at the end. Yes, you are. In fact, even though I'm wrapping some things up, I'll go ahead and start a I'll start a quick little demonstration of what I got finished so far. I'm working out some bugs, but this is the state where the game is at, all right? Check this out. Ooh. Okay, some bullets got me. Oh, and something that I didn't get to show earlier. Let me restart this. So, we'll take that out. So I do actually have a shotgun function. Okay, that's interesting. It's doing the walking animation, but it's... Huh. Okay, that might give me a clue as to how to actually fix that bug. I do have a shotgun function as well. It's just I'm still figuring out exactly how I'm going to make that work. But and plus I need to actually I worked on making the actual shotgun model tonight, so I'll be working on making the cosmetics for that as well. But I'm kind of playing around with how to actually make it to where you can have multiple weapons in this. And yeah, that was interesting. That like I said, that probably gives me an idea as to how to fix that bug. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. This will be the last edit I try to make for tonight. Okay. So it won't be from when that's pushed down. But let's see. Player. That's the configuration. Forward speed is greater than 0. And we'll... That's some great progress since last week. Yes, thank you. Then we'll duplicate that. If the sideways speed is greater than 0. Oh, and... Wait. Okay, I'm going to try this out, and then if it doesn't work, at least I know what to do for later. So in the sub event, if... Was it variable? So... weapon selected equal to 1. Set animation by name, set it to walk. Hold on. I feel like I'm getting warm here. Yeah, sub event. Okay. Let's try. Let's put it in the main event. And the variable is set to... Set to 1. The animation of guns by name, set it to walk. Same goes for this. Wait a second, I can just copy that. Come on. Paste it. There we go. Okay. Okay. because this is actually referring to if you're, so if it's greater than 0, it's not talking about a speed, it's talking about where you're moving on a grid. Okay. Like I said, that gives me a clue as to how to actually fix the bug. But I need to get some sleep because I got to wake up early in the morning. So, again, thank you all for popping in on here. Even if you just came in the last few minutes, I appreciate you jumping on, interacting, and everything like that. Be sure to, check out the project if you haven't already. If you're watching this after the fact, go to firebrand.site and check out everything on Bandcamp. And consider becoming a member of the Fire Tribe on Patreon for $10 a month, where you get access to demos, videos earlier than their release date. You'll get all of my albums, past, present, and future, at no additional charge for download, and discount coupons and everything like that. So consider that as well and supporting the project that way. Thank you all so much for jumping on, and I will be here next week, same bat time, same bat place. Love you guys. And until next time, Firebrand.